Cowboys Corral TV presents the Legends Barbecue Pep Rally. It's time to get ready for the game. Let's talk football with the people who know it best. The Legends of America's Team, hosted by legendary Cowboy wide receiver Drew Pearson. That's right, the original 88, and filmed in front of a live audience of hungry Cowboys fans. It's the Legends Barbecue Pep Rally.
All right, welcome to the Legends Barbecue Pep Rally right here at the Austin Ranch here in Grapevine, Texas. You ever think you'd ever be in Grapevine, Texas? Well, we welcome you. Let me hear some noise. Let me know you're here tonight. Wow, we got a special show for you tonight. You know, my name is Drew Pearson. They call me the original number 88, which means I'm the older one. But it's special because we have the guy that took the original number 88 and took it to new heights, all the way to the NFL Hall of Fame. And guess what? He took it out there so far, ain't nobody gonna be wanting to wear number 88 anymore. We got to put it away. Give it up for Michael Irvin. In the house, the Cowboy Corral TV. This is the only place you can get us. As Michael was saying to you before we went on air, we've never crossed paths, very seldom cross paths and do personal appearances together. And because of his busy life and my busy life, even when we don't do appearances, even though we live in the same city, we hardly ever cross paths. So this is a very unique opportunity for us to be here, and it's a special opportunity for me. And I'll tell you how we never crossed paths. I haven't even had a chance to congratulate Michael on his induction into the NFL Hall of Fame. So help me do that. Help me do that. Get up, get up. Get up in here. Hall of Fame. Get up in here.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Drew. And I will say this on air, too, also, man. I appreciate being here with you. I've admired Drew for so long. You know, and I talked to even in that speech, you mentioned that my father was just such a huge Cowboy fan, and I remember the days watching football with him, and he's gone on now to be with our Father in heaven, but and watching you catch those passes, man, and actually dreaming about being Drew, you know, and for it all to happen the way it happened, me being drafted here and then wearing that number, I didn't know that it was what the Bible would call a vision and not a dream, and I appreciate that.
Well, it was a vision, it was a dream, but you made it happen through your effort and the things that you did out there on the football field. Number 1 draft choice in 1988, 11th selection in the draft, 750 regular season catches, almost 12,000 yards, 65 touchdowns. I say he took the dream to a whole nother level, wouldn't you? Amen. He took it and shook it and everything else. But Michael, it's a pleasure to be here, and I know you got some great memories of playing for the Cowboys, and especially in Texas Stadium. Tell the fans and the folks about some of those memories that stick out in your mind.
Well, I tell you what, the thing is that I remember most, every time I walked on the carpet, and it was carpet at the time. Trust me, it was carpet. Hard carpet at the time. I would always look up, Drew, look up at the guys that are in the ring on them, and certainly I do believe you should be there, and hopefully one day we'll have your rightful place there. But
let me interrupt you. It'll happen. It'll be like your mom said when they asked her about the Hall of Fame. Shouldn't you have been in before? She had got in before because the vote was there. Well, she said no, because it was God's time.
Yep,
and that made it the right time.
Yeah,
so when God's time comes, that'll be my time for me.
That's the right time. He always knows best. And I do think about that even now, Drew, you mentioned it, because, you know, the name is there. They got 88, and they can put Drew Pearson, Drew Pearson, 88, that might go over, and we'll put it right there. It'll be perfect. It will be perfect. 88's in the middle. It'll be perfect. But, man, but walking out on that stadium, and thinking about all of those guys, the guys like you who have laid the groundwork. and played so well in this stadium. The days that I remember watching it, and they took them zooming in from the hole in the roof, and I'm like, okay, don't you go out here and embarrass all that they have done before you. So go out here and play hard, man. And fortunately, we had a bunch of guys that played hard, and we were fortunate enough to win some games and some Super Bowls.
Yeah, well, you did definitely won a lot of games and some Super Bowls right there in Texas Stadium. But seeing now that, you know, you created your memories there, and knowing that the stadium is going to be removed, they're going to move into the new house, which is just a beautiful facility. Does that kind of make you feel like, you know, your memories are going to go away or disappear or not have the same effect when they move to the new stadium?
It's kind of funny because the University of Miami leaving the Orange Bowl, they're moving into Dolphin Stadium, and Dallas Cowboys are leaving Texas Stadium, moving into the new stadium. It's all happening. You know, and I thought about that too. So many great days at Miami, so many great days in those stadiums. The Cowboy fans do deserve the best. And they deserve the best. We have, and the greatest gift God's given us is that gift of memory. You know what I mean? So sometimes when we go through, my mom used to say this, and Bishop Mother used to tell him this, sometimes when we go through the toughest times in the world, you know, you can reach back in that memory and grab those great moments. That's why the memory is so important. And we have to celebrate the great moments that we had, that we've shared, and the great moments that we will share this year in Texas Stadium. In Texas Stadium. You know, and be thankful that we had those moments.
Right.
But with this new day, this new age, and the cost of free agency, we got to celebrate Jerry saying, let's move over here, because we also got to say, if we don't keep up with the Joneses, no pun intended, but he is the Jones, then we won't have new memories to remember. So we got to keep up with everybody. We got to have the great moments in our mind, but I know he has to do what he has to do financially and on the business side so we can continue to have those great moments.
Well, what he's doing is keeping the tradition going, you know, because when we left the Cotton Bowl to move into Texas Stadium, that was state-of-the-art. That was wow. Nobody else in the league had a stadium like that. So now he's moving that on because time moves on, and now it's another stadium. Wow. You know, nobody else has a stadium like that. So he's just keeping the tradition going and keep moving. Can you imagine in the next 20 years where we're going to be?
Yeah, and I like that because I'm going to tell you something. You guys got to fortunate enough to play for a good owner and Drew and these guys. But some owners around this league, I mean, you start taking it for granted what you have. Some of these guys don't want anything. They bottom dollar, count dollars, and that's it. They don't care about championships, so they don't mind that you are emotionally invested. Outside of being just financially invested when you pay for those tickets and all those stuff, you are emotionally invested. And I learned more of that. I learned that more this year than I had ever learned. I had never been so sick over a loss like I had when the Cowboys lost to the Giants last year. I was crushed.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, Cowboy fans felt the same way, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was more hurt, as a fan than I had ever been as a player. Now, see, as a player, when you lose and you've gone through that long season, you know, Drew, you're like, man, I'm sick, I'm tired, the season's been long. You know, you're hurt, but you're ready to get away. Right. You know, your body's aching, you've gone through a long season. Well, last year, I was like, I'm not hurt, I'm fine. Let's keep going. What do you mean it's over? What do you mean? There's no game next week. What are y'all talking about? I was crushed. I was like, wow, I thought we were going to the Super Bowl. What are you talking about? Hey, man, I was like, wow, this is new for me. You know, it was new. So now to catch